Hey guys, Chris here. Today I'm not going to be reviewing anything. I'm going to be actually talking about why I will never buy or why I will always have an analog watch. Um, First off, I really am. If you guys know me at all, you know that I'm not a huge fan of like unnecessary technology. Like yeah, I have an iPhone. I got I work on, I do all my homework on computers. Cause, I mean, I basically have to anyway, because, homework is all online these days. And some of that's good, because the online homework, especially for math, because, I'm awful at it, like, it'll say that you got it wrong, whereas if you were doing it on paper, you wouldn't know that, you would just assume that you did it right. And actually, it helps me understand, which is probably why I'm getting an A in my math class over here at Elgin Community College. But anyway, like, I have never been a huge fan of Apple, not just Apple Watches, but just any other kind of smart watch or just smart things in general. And, it's not really just because it's just technology, because yeah, like I was saying, technology can be helpful, but I think there's something just so nice and timeless about an analog watch. Like this thing, to try to show you it at its normal angle. This Elgin 2 watch, I got back in, it was February. Or no, either early February, late January, somewhere. No, it was definitely February. But last November, I was given a really good opportunity to do speech team, and that was actually the only extracurricular activity I ever did at my high school. I mean, besides a movie club, but that didn't really require anything. But speech, I was basically scared shitless to do speech because I initially wanted to do it. And I went to their what do you call it, like, informational meeting, and it looked pretty cool, but I kind of got scared off of the whole thing about waking up at 5 a.m. and memorizing an 8-minute piece and all that. But come a month and a half later, the coach for the speech team was basically begging me to to join speech because he needed someone for their category for original comedy. So we worked on a piece I already had. It was a piece about working at Jewel. It was originally like a 3-minute piece, and somehow him and I mean, it wasn't just him and I. He went out of his way to talk to other people that worked at Jewel, to talk to other teachers, and he turned it into this 8-minute plus piece. And we, through kind of working with it, we got it to around that perfect 8-minute chunk. And I actually really appreciate that because it was hard and it was scary, but I think he must have seen something in me, because I've never had have anyone really go out of their way that much just for the sake of improving a piece of my writing. But anyway, at the end of it, I have no clue how this happened, because I am really, like, I can write okay, but I'm not like the best at performing stuff. Like, I'll read something in my monotone voice the whole piece, and I really won't add any zingy stuff to it. But I don't know how, but I made it to regionals, whatever comes after conference, and he gave the seniors that made it to that point, he each gave us watches, which I think is a super cool move. And he thought about each person when selecting the watch, because that was just a tradition that he does apparently. But he got me this watch. He said that it reminded him of me because of, like, instead of, I'm just gonna take it off so you can see it better, but like, instead of numbers, it's little just shapes. And I really appreciate that, because this is a really cool watch. And I was really scared at first though, because I had to remove about 6 bands off of this thing, but that happened later. initially there was like, I don't know, there was like 9 on each side, and it was not fitting around my like tiny ass wrist. So like, I got really scared because I didn't know that you could take them out. So I was really appreciative of it, but I was just like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to wear this watch, because it's such a nice watch. I really love it. And but yeah, I in late March I adjusted it, and I've been wearing it ever since. And yeah, so what, I have to set the date right every other month. It's just a little minor inconvenience that people just they'd rather have convenience, and I don't blame people for that. But it's like there's a certain point, like, I like some things to be convenient, but I think having a smartwatch, like, sometimes, you know, you just put your phone away just to kind of to remove yourself from the world. You know, you just gotta sometimes unplug at the, you know, at the risk of sounding like a parent. But like, sometimes it's just good to get away from things for a while. And I feel like if you had that smart watch, it would be like just another thing that you would either have to take off or just get distracted by. And this is not distracting. Like, all it does is tell you the time and date, and look really cool doing it. But like, I love this watch, and I had one before. It was kind of crappier, and the little, it was like it was more of like a strap kind of, but like one of the holders on it broke, so it would just kind of like flop around. So I kind of ditched that one, and I was just looking for a good one ever since, and I got this, and that it just came just in time. But I think there's just so much that can go wrong, and so much that you can get distracted by from wearing a smartwatch. And it's like, yeah, it'll monitor your health or heart rate or whatever, but like, do you really need that? Like, you would know if you're in shape or not. Like, if you're panting after going up a flight of stairs, or if you're feeling tired all the time, you're not in shape. You don't need a watch to tell you that, you know? Like, I mean, and it's just kind of unnecessary, in my opinion. You're spending $300 on something that's gonna break at some point. It's gonna become slow. It's gonna not be what it once was. And this, as long as the battery's good in it, it'll work, you know? And it's like a physical thing. So even if, God forbid, that the insides of it like get messed up or something, you can still have a dude fix it, you know? It's just like, and you know, with a thing that has so many little microchips in it or whatever, it's harder to fix, and it would probably be more expensive to fix, actually. But with this thing, like, you know what you're getting. It's not gonna, you know, you're not gonna get text messages off this thing. You're not gonna see the weather on it. You're not gonna see your heart rate. If you want to get your heart rate, put your finger right here, right here. Like, I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know, not really necessary. And you just want to detach from the world sometimes, I think. And having an analog watch makes it that much easier. And man, I just really appreciate this thing. I appreciate the speech team coach. I appreciate just really anyone who's gone the extra mile for me. That's kind of like off topic of what this video is. I mean, I was supposed to be talking about why I like analog watches, and I went on a whole speech team sidetrack. But I don't know. I think I'll always just be one for analog stuff. I don't know if, I mean, that's probably just me. Like, I don't know. I mean, I got 3 different CDs in this car right now. That's not any bit analog, but it's definitely not up to date. But you know, I think and you know, I'm not like putting anyone down that wears smartwatches. I'm just putting my opinion out there. Like, if you have one, that's all fine and dandy, but I'll always take my stuff a little bit simpler. And that's just me. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video because it's right at 10 minutes. So I'll see you guys in the next video.